Too. I am so excited to be here today
Hi,
with
welcome
our
to the
guest Barbara, and I always say her name wrong. Is it Ziedler?
with an I, Zeidler.
Zeidler. Okay. Barbara Sheehan-Zeidler. And she is out of Colorado, and I'm in Idaho, so we're all on the West Coast. And we are happy to be here today. I am your consultant and trainer at Rewired 360, your EMDR University, everything certification and consultation. So today we have an exciting topic I couldn't wait to hear about. And we're talking with Barbara about intensive. So let's dive right in.
Mm.
And Barbara, I'll let you introduce yourself, and then we'll kind of start talking about this exciting topic we're both passionate about, which is intensives.
Passionate is the right word. Kathy, it's great to be back again. I'm
Yeah.
excited to talk about this. Barbara Sheehan-Zeidler, based out of Colorado, EMDR trainer, consultant, somatic IFS certified, polyvagal nerd extraordinaire, and potentially a Qigong teacher. I think
Oh
I'm
my
signing up to
goodness.
be. I know. I just love learning. And I love learning for the purposes of healing trauma.
Yeah.
And I am excited about intensives because I feel like we more really, really fully and efficiently get to the core of the trauma and then help the person have a better life. So I'm excited to talk about intensives. What are they? How long have they been around? How to do them? What do they look like? There's so much people talk about regarding intensives.
Can you just kind of give us a little history? When did you start? How did you transition? And think that that might be a good idea for you.
Yeah, I started pre-pandemic. I don't remember the year, but it was a very, very long time ago. And it started out of frustration. I was
Okay.
having a clinical frustration with a client.
Uh-huh.
Clients were coming in on the hourly, and I was having a clinical frustration, as was the client. We would get to the peak, and then it's like, oh, time, gotta go. Client would diligently come in next appointment, but by the time their nervous system could
Yeah.
relax and go to that place, it was up, time to go. So
Mhm.
I was like wild. I was like, how about we just kick it? I think I said that exact. How about we just kick it? You come in on a Saturday and we'll like just be here for 2 hours is what I thought.
Mhm.
And we stayed in it, and got through it. So it started out of clinical frustration and maybe client necessity, but definitely I was frustrated and so was the client.
Yeah.
And then I really liked it, as did the client. And then I was like, I should do this more. Additionally, one of my colleagues, her business is only intensives, and she needed somebody to refer to because she was so booked out. So she would send me the local people, and I, started there, and I love it ever since.
Yeah. So I kind of started out in, let's see, 2023, I think, and I just was like Googling like EMDR
Mhm.
business, and then I
Mhm.
found actually Cambria Evans
Yeah.
program to kind of structure the intensives, and now I'm kind of following Jessica Good
Hmm.
and her
Hmm.
intensive only private practice. Of course, Stephanie Feld. We have
Hmm.
lots of people. I know that you have your therapy intensive summit. I have a blog on my page. Um, about everywhere you can find these resources. And so I think it's just really important so I started there, and then I thought, I was trained in the Gottman method, and I thought I could apply this to the same workshop principle. So I did that, and
Hmm.
I'm doing that. And I'm in Idaho, so the market's a little more, not as much, out there, but I am still kind of doing what I'm doing. And so I'm trying to kind of transition into that, learning more about now I have my structure about how do I make it more recurring income and not one-time events. And so we're just trying to figure some tweaks to it so I can figure that out and get us as much training as I can.
Yeah.
There. How are you transitioning if you're trying to transition into the intensive only private
Yeah.
practice? Can you share a
Yeah.
little bit about that?
It's how do I want to say this? All I needed to do was be extraordinarily brave.
Yeah.
So I crafted an when I get an inquiry like, "Hey, Barbara, I'd like to come work with you." I crafted a an email back or a thing back and or voicemail back and like I'm transitioning to intensives only. So an intensive could be an extended appointment, minimum of 2 hours, usually three, or it could be days. So all I'm doing is like that's the only people I'm accepting. My current clients, I am keeping them at what they're used to because that was my contract with them. I contracted with them to be hourly,
Mm-hmm.
and my incoming clients, my contract with them will be a minimum of two, generally 3 hours per appointment.
Okay.
So I'm just that's all I accept now.
Mm-hmm.
And I am delighted in my inbox today. I had an email from someone who said, "Hey, you worked with me in 2023. It was fabulous. Wondering if we could come in because I really need to do something else. And I really want to do that one day with you." I'm like, excellent. Sounds good. So how am I doing it? By simply not accepting people who don't want to. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? And I
Yeah, and the
and I'm happy
conversation's
for
different
everyone.
with those
Oh yeah.
referrals too. Even though I say I'm intensive only, like on my Psychology Today or things like that,
Yeah.
um, you know, I really feel, and this is kind of what I say to people when they call, and this is more on the couple side.
Uh-huh.
But it's like we want to help you work in a really evidence-based way. You can come for weekly, but kind of to your point, what we were saying is we get to that plateau, you leave, you come back, we restart, and there's not as much work
Yeah.
is continuing. So it was just a really difficult thing also for people that maybe were frustrated or clients needing that longer um, care
Mhm.
there.
And for some people, it's not a good fit. For some people, that weekly appointment is just the right, if you will, titration of therapy. 1 hour is just right for some people's nervous systems, psyches, etc. So for some people, the weekly appointments are a really excellent fit for them. For me, as a therapist, I also am in the room and I want to do more. For those people that weekly is better, I have a wonderful list of referrals. And then it's a really good fit because if I'm not happy, air quotes are unhappy, if I'm not satisfied in the therapy room in some professional capacity, I'm not necessarily going to be giving my best. So I want to be doing those things that I thoroughly enjoy doing as well. So for those that it is a good fit, I'm so excited that studies are saying that it works just as good as regular weekly appointments.
So I want to ask you, I know that you're going to be doing a few talks and things
Mhm.
going on. Talk to us about like what you're doing with all of the people you're collaborating with, and you're talking at the upcoming summit. Can you give us a little insight into what's coming?
So yeah, so there is a summit coming. The Trauma Institute and Child Trauma Institute are is hosting a summit. I think it's in November.
Yeah.
I have to check my calendar. It's in November, and that's Ricky Greenwald's company, I believe it. Yeah, it's Ricky's company.
Mhm.
And myself and Stephanie Feld, shout out to Stephanie. We are giving a talk on how to build a successful intensive offering, both on the inside and the outside.
Mhm.
How does the clinician feel? It's a very different experience staying with someone in that arena for hours and hours and hours at a time.
Yeah.
So we 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 want to be sure that the clinician is good and solid. And then externally, how do we scaffold that?
Mhm.
How do we make it effective, efficient, and safe, really safe? So the summit is coming November 14th. Stephanie and I are talking, but Ricky has a really great lineup of people, really
Yeah.
great.
Mhm.
And I'll pop you the link and you can pop it in there, but it's ticti.org conference, and you can find out information there. And then Stephanie and I are partnering with a three-part Facebook Live talk. called Back to School. And we're talking again about how to build a safe, efficient, effective intensives program. And you can, I'll pop that link there for you as well. And then next year, I'm talking in Portugal, again, collaborating with Alejandro Castro. And Alejandro and I are speaking at the Thrive Summit in Portugal. And we're talking about how to do experiential and sound into your work. Because when we're going deep into psyche, uh, we can do so many ways to help that trauma healing happen. So just a lot of fun things. And then a teaser that your audience is going to be the first to hear about. Stephanie and I are dropping that in March of 2026. We are doing an intensive. It's called Presence and
Ooh.
Possibility. Yeah. And it's called Presence and Possibility, the Therapy Intensives Retreat. We're going to have a wonderful time right on the beach of California, where we're going to be doing some education, some experiences. We're going to have a bonfire. We're going to be going internal, external about how to build your best intensive platform. So, yeah, intensives is the name of the game for me, it seems like.
That's so good. Yeah, and all these different things, and these models, and we're always shifting and trying to help people in the best way. And I feel like this is my best work, is kind of when I'm doing these intensive sessions and kind of helping people work through some of the skills, and in the couples, and then just, get through as many targets as we can with EMDR, as well. So,
I,
um,
can I add to that, Kathy, real
yeah.
fast?
Hmm.
I loved what you just said, that this is your best work.
Yeah.
I really resonated with that. While I can do the hourly appointment, I feel the fullness of me as a clinician and my
Yes.
patient and my passion. It really gets to get in there with that extended intensive format. So I
Hmm.
just wanted to say I resonate with what you're saying
Yeah.
because it matters how we feel in the room. It matters.
And
So I
how we
just
show
wanted
up
to,
and
yeah,
that momentum, right? That clinical momentum as we're moving forward and we're getting into the space and,
yeah.
feeling, and just, it's just really awesome when that brain and the defenses are just really ripe and, they're ready for information or processing. And so I think it's really something to consider. How are you transitioning off insurance panels and into this private pay? I know for myself, insurance panels have become more cumbersome,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to just kind of. I'll always have a few handful of people that have stayed with me for a while, but I think that's also some motivation. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So right from the get-go, to be honest, I didn't take insurance. I took third-party payers like victims' compensation, but
Hmm.
I did not take insurance. So I didn't need to transition. So I feel very fortunate about that.
Hmm.
And insurance is an area that I actually don't know much about.
Hmm.
So I always need to refer to other people for that.
Hmm.
I do believe that you can bill partially, but not a lot. But
Yeah.
there are other programs that you can, what is it called? Like there are other organizations that you can put it on a charge card and pay that other
Oh, the
organization.
HSA. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely I can take HSA in all those ways. But I oftentimes talk to clients about I will give you a super bill and they can get reimbursement about that. And then the other part is I'm happy to maybe break it down that we see each other for 3 hours, 3 times a week. So they're getting 9 hours in of work and the brain is still open and working, but maybe in that 3 hour chunk, they're going to get a better reimbursement back. But I don't know those details.
And then how
Um,
are you kind of any tips for people that are maybe new to pricing your practice? How do you kind of what do you do there with that
I'm sorry, what do I do with what?
pricing? Um,
Pricing.
uh-huh.
So how do I determine my price?
How do you determine your price? Any tips for
Yeah.
people looking to price their practice,
Yeah.
and kind of having those conversations with people?
Yeah, there are many ways. So m- I wanted to keep mine affordable. Um, um, so the way I did it is I took my hourly rate
Mhm,
and I multiplied it time my normal hour, is an intensive will meet for 4, 5, 6, 7, a full day intensive. I just multiplied times 7 hours because we're meeting that long. So
mhm,
I just take my hourly rate and I multiply it.
mhm,
Others, though, they're like, oh no, charge more
mhm,
because they're getting more. So
mhm,
there are many ways to look at that.
mhm,
For me, though, I wanted to maintain it um, to be affordable.
mhm.
And my hourly rate is when I look at my demographic, on occasion I'll do a survey about what people are charging in Colorado in my area. The charges in Colorado are less than those in New York City,
Yeah.
but more than those in another state.
Mhm.
I don't know what other state, but it's more than. So I charge appropriately for my where I
Your
live.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when you're thinking about doing this work, where are you at kind of, where would you like to be in your future and how do you compare that with where you're at now?
Wow, Kathy. In my future, so I'm 17 plus years being a therapist, and where I get a lot of energy and vitality and that rush is doing talks like this,
Hmm.
doing coaching, doing mentorship, doing trainings, doing lots and lots of trainings, doing consultations one-on-one. So I see myself transitioning to be more of a helper's helper to help them achieve where they want to go and help them envision where they want to go.
Hmm.
I love to teach by my epic fails. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I when I was right where you are, I did this and here's my epic fail, just saying. Um, and then I see myself also what I want to do is do more volunteer work as well. So one-on-ones are wonderful and intensives are my jam.
Hmm.
And in 5 years, though, I'll be close to 70.
Hmm.
So maybe less one-on-one.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
um,
it's so exciting, to be
yeah.
able to kind of figure out how to transform and how to
Mhm.
flexibility in your schedule, um,
Mhm.
and creating those motivated clients, those kinds of
Mhm.
things. So, anything else that you feel like our listening audience needs to know about intensive work or other things maybe that from your practice wisdom?
Um, what I would say to that is do seek consultation. I recently read a post that, and I don't mean to scare anybody, but I also want to maybe warn people that a person reported a clinician. They were doing an intensive and they reported the clinician to their agency, to their board,
Mm,
because of mismanagement. The client perceived mismanagement during the intensive work. And so I really want to pull back and say, hey, it's different. It's really different. We really do, like in the EMDR umbrella, we really do want to have a thorough history and a thorough prep.
yes,
We really want that. We want to have that safety and rapport. We don't just say, sure, come on in, let's just go there. It is right. I see you're shaking your head no. So do get consultation around how to do it ethically, safely, and in a way that works for you and the client. So
yeah.
I would say that do you have something to add to that,
That
Kathy?
assessment process, right? I
Oh,
have some questions, some basic questions about recent suicidality,
yeah.
hospitalizations, previous
Yes.
therapy, the
Yes.
people that I'm looking for, people maybe that have done that and are ready to kind of dive in. So I think what you're saying is very important, and you do need to have a way of screening clients and making sure they're a good fit.
Yes.
And I think that's just a really important conversation
Mhm.
to have as we're looking to kind of dive into these
I
things. I
agree.
would say, but
And then so that's about client readiness
yes,
and then clinician readiness,
hmm,
right? So clinician readiness, how well equipped are you? Because when we do the intensive, the clinician is in there with
yes,
them and
yes,
you're going to hear things, see things,
hmm,
you might have somatic reactions. like, oh my gosh, the client started, thrashing around the room. The client peed on my couch. That did
Mhm.
happen to me once.
Mhm.
Like we're going to have client responses. So is the clinician ready for those responses?
Mhm.
And so clinician readiness as well. When I do EMDR focused intensives, I'm sure to know a bunch of protocols. Standard is great,
Yes, yes.
and
Yeah.
it's good to know when to do a different protocol in a different moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, client readiness and then clinician readiness. Um, and then how do you organize it? When do you take breaks? When do you lean in? When do you stay out? There is quite a lot to it.
Yeah.
But once you get it, like I'm teaching grandchildren how to tie a bow in their sneakers, right? There's quite a lot to tie a bow in
Yeah.
your pieces if you
Yeah.
break it down. But
Yeah.
once you get it, you got it.
Yeah.
Similarly,
Yeah.
once
My kindergartner, I said, "How do you like your teacher?" "I don't like her. She won't help me tie my shoe." Like, oh, and you just told me, oh yeah, I do need to go back and teach him how to do that. So yeah,
Oh, yeah, that came to mind. But
yeah.
once you get it, you got it, and then you continue to get consultation, or at least the connection about those things. I'm a strong believer in consultation. I mentioned I've been in the field 17 plus years, and I am in one consultation group all of these years, and I'm in two other supportive consultation groups.
Mhm.
So stay connected so that you can stay
Yeah.
really strong in your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good, powerful conversation today. I think just kind of let us know where we can find you. I'm at rewired360.com. My intensive site is Willow Creek Health. So
Mhm.
that's my therapy practice. And then I also have my training practice. Where can people find you?
They can find me at barbaracounsels.com, and that'll bring you to my website. My Barbara Sheehan-Zeidler is a long name. Creative and Caring Counseling is a long name. So I
Mhm.
got Barbara Counsels. It's quick, easy, and gets you
Oh,
there.
okay. I
I
understand
know.
that. Okay,
I was
good
like,
for
yeah,
you.
let's
Yeah.
barbaracounsels.com. And
Mhm.
on there, you're going to see links to my Facebook and my LinkedIn and things like that.
Okay.
Would love for people to follow and stay
Yeah.
informed and reach out if they need some more support.
Yep, and you can also find me at Rewired 360 on TikTok. I have EMDR Repair Lab is my kind of clinical site where I talk about everything clinical. Those are on TikTok. That's been kind of fun. I just did a video blog. So I have a blog with some videos now about how to do things. And I'm trying to really, my goal is to amp up people that want to be certified or consultants, give them the resources for the certification, just, all the protocols and then for the consultant, how do we market? How do we build the business? Those kinds of things. So I'm kind of just really diving in and launching that. I also just this week launched a CE trainer program. So if you want CEs for any training, you can come on board and we can partner and I can offer host your training. I know.
What?
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
do I find that,
Yeah.
Kathy?
So it's at rewired360.com. You can go onto
Okay.
my page and there is a thing that says become a CE provider. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. I'm pulling it up in the background as we
Yeah, me too.
speak.
So it's on go to Rewired 360. I realized I'm an MBCC provider, and I thought, why
Mhm.
am I not just hosting any therapist that wants to kind of dive in and learn? And so it's under Rewired 360, and it's under consultation and programs, and you do CE provider application.
Okay. CE provider application.
Uh-huh.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
So I just
Oh my
did that, and that's fun. It's like, the
goodness.
consultants want to be trainers, but like, how do you do that? How do you impart education? How do you, again, to your point of consultation? So mine's more of an educational perspective is where I come from, like how to give you the tools to do what you do best and also provide you a structure to do that. And so that was fun. That was my big launch this week.
Congratulations. I can't
Yeah.
wait to read more about it. You're
Yeah.
talking to me. I have so many classes that I've done, and I want to amp them up
Yeah.
to have the credits to go with it. So
Yeah, because
I
people, we offer them and we can, people need the CEs. And so, you just kind of, to me, it's one of those things where I have a really a mind for translating policy into this. And some
Mhm.
people don't. And so it's like, these are the steps. This is what you do. If you want to do this, this is what these steps are. This is what you need to submit. And so that's just how my brain works. And so I was like, let me just kind of dive into this and help people become trainers and give that information back.
Yeah.
It came kind of with the consulting part that people wanted to offer trainings. And
Mm.
so I just did that this week. So
I
it's
just did
so
that this
fun.
week. You say it's so easy. I'm super visual, so when I see a whole bunch of words and instructions,
Yes.
I pull back.
Yes.
So
Yes. So
I
I took
appreciate
that and I pared it down into an application and a form. And so it's still very much in pilot. So if you wanted to be my pilot test on something, you
I
know,
am signing up. I'm already there,
oh,
actually.
good.
Empower Yourself CE Provider application. I'm
Good.
there.
And if you have any feedback on that, let me know. Things we can change. But it just kind of, I'm a real believer, sort of in letting your um, oh, how do I say this? Like doing your passion, like being led. So when I started my intensives, I just kind of said to the universe, I'll say yes to whatever you put in front of me, say yes. But I also kind of Stephanie's power of one, like you
Yeah.
need to still do one thing. So mine is certification, consultation, training, education, because I'm a grief and loss specialist. I love doing all the things grief and loss, but also like, I want to still stay in my lane, have a focus. And I think that's kind of been a challenge to just really like dive in. So I'm honing lots of things. You can visit my blog for those consulting resources as well. That's on the community offerings tab of the website. You can go to blog
Okay.
and it's there. So
Exciting things.
fun.
Exciting
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Yeah, I think in our mental health industry, one of my things to do that I want to encourage my colleagues is to maintain their vitality and energy because I see too many people leaving the field
Yeah.
and we need more people to stay in the field right now, in my opinion. And so I really want to help and encourage the vitality of all this.
That's so good. Well, it's
Kathy, I'm
exciting
excited.
conversation with you today, Barbara. You can find us at all of those resources. I have a YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook group are my primary ways, but also just send me an email, Kathy at rewired360.com. Beautiful conversation today with you. I'm so happy to have you. And
Thank you.
anything that you'd like to say? Before
Just great gratitude for the opportunity to chat with you today and encouragement for people to be brave
yes.
and connect with Kathy, connect with myself. If you have a question, just ask.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask. Be brave and ask. One of the things about getting gray haired is I'm not afraid to ask anymore. And I am really excited about the answers I often get.
Oh,
So
that's so good.
yeah,
Love
I would
that piece
say
of advice.
ask. Go be brave and ask.
Good. Okay. All right, friends. We will see you next time. You can also join us live on YouTube for any questions for any of our podcasts. You can see the upcoming presenters and dates on there. Till then, we'll see you then.
Take
Take
care. Bye.